Annie opens her eyes at exactly 6 o'clock in the morning, just as the first rays of sunlight slip softly through her bedroom curtains. She stretches her arms above her head and lets out a slow, deep sigh, feeling the gentle warmth of the light on her skin. Before she moves, she takes a mindful breath, filling her lungs with the cool, fresh air that drifts in through the slightly open window. As she exhales slowly, she whispers to herself, "Today is a new gift," and feels a small spark of hope brighten her heart. Sitting up in bed, Annie reaches for her little gratitude journal on the nightstand. She opens the notebook to a fresh page and writes 3 simple sentences. First, she notes that she is thankful for her loving husband, Tom. Second, she writes down her gratitude for her 2 happy children, Ethan and Lily. Third, she reminds herself how lucky she is to have another day full of possibilities. Closing the journal, she places it gently back on the table, feeling a soft wave of contentment wash over her mind and set a positive tone for the day. Annie rises and walks barefoot across the cool wooden floor to the bathroom. She brushes her teeth with gentle, slow strokes and splashes cold water on her face to wake herself fully. Looking into the mirror, she plants her feet firmly apart, presses her hands on her hips, and stands tall in a simple power pose. For 1 whole minute, she holds this stance, breathing in confidence and breathing out doubt. As she repeats quietly, "I am strong and ready," Annie notices how her posture and her words lift her spirit and build a quiet sense of strength inside her. After her power pose, Annie returns to the hallway for a brief, mindful breathing exercise. She inhales slowly for 4 counts, holds the breath for 2 counts, and then exhales fully for 6 counts. She repeats this cycle 5 times, feeling her thoughts settle and her body relax with each round. This little pause helps clear away any worries from the night before and brings a surprising calm and clarity to her mind. When she finishes, Annie smiles, ready to embrace the tasks ahead with a clear head. She then opens her closet and selects her favorite light blue sweater. Tom always says the color reminds him of a bright spring sky. As she slips it on, she notices the soft fabric against her skin and feels a gentle lift in her mood. While she dresses, she sets a small intention for the day to speak only positive words, both with her family at home and the customers she will meet at work. This simple goal, she believes, will guide her actions and help her spread kindness wherever she goes. Before leaving her bedroom, Annie pauses by the window once more. She watches a pair of small birds hopping on the wooden fence and hears their soft, cheerful chirping. Leaning forward slightly, she inhales the delicate scent of morning dew and whispers, "I breathe in hope." The sound of the birds seems like a friendly greeting, encouraging her to step out of her comfort zone and share her own smile with the world. With one last look at the sunrise, Annie closes the curtains and takes a final, steadying breath. She feels calm energy filling her chest, her mind clear, and her heart open. In this gentle morning awakening, she knows she is ready to face whatever the day may bring. Every small ritual, from the gratitude journal to the power pose, from mindful breathing to choosing her sweater, has woven together to create a sense of peace and purpose that lights her path forward. Annie moves into the kitchen at 6:30, the soft morning light following her steps. She smiles as she sets a plate on the counter. Today she makes scrambled eggs and toast for her family. While she cooks, she quietly practices English phrases like, I love breakfast time, and this smells delicious. Speaking these simple sentences helps her feel more confident. The warm, familiar sounds of sizzling eggs and popping toaster bring comfort and readiness for the day ahead. Tom walks in at 7 o'clock. Annie greets him gently. Good morning, Tom. Breakfast is ready. He smiles and replies, Thank you, Annie. You are amazing. This simple exchange uses the phrase, You're amazing, which Annie has been working to say with clear pronunciation. As Tom pours his coffee, Annie practices another phrase softly. Let's enjoy our meal together. They sit at the small table, and for a few quiet moments, they share the joy of being together before the day's busy work begins. At 6:45, Ethan and Lily come running down the stairs. Ethan, with wide eyes full of energy, says, Mom, can I have pancakes? Annie laughs and explains, Today is eggs and toast, but we will have pancakes tomorrow. Lily hops in place and asks, Please, Mom? In response, Annie teaches them both a short phrase. Please be patient. She shows them how to say it. Please be patient. They repeat the phrase together, and Annie feels happy to mix English learning into these small family moments. After breakfast, Annie helps Ethan and Lily gather their school things. She practices the phrase, pack your bag, as she helps Ethan slide his books into his backpack. She asks him politely, Did you pack your homework? And he nods, answering, Yes, Mom. Next, she helps Lily fasten her jacket and says, Let's go to school. In the car, Annie gently repeats the phrase, I will drop you off. Ethan learns the word drop, and Lily learns the word off. They wave when they reach the school gate, shouting, Bye, Mom. Annie waves back, her heart warmed by their happy faces. Annie drives to the clothing store where she works in the local mall. She parks the car and takes a deep breath, reminding herself to smile. Inside the store, she greets the first customer with a friendly, Welcome! How can I help you? She uses simple, polite phrases like, Try this on, and That looks great. When a customer holds up a shirt and asks for a different size, Annie replies kindly, Let me check in the back. She walks to the storage area and finds the right size, then brings it back, saying, Here you go. The customer thanks her, and Annie practices the phrase, You're welcome. During her shift, Annie tries a new activity to improve her English. She invites a coworker to join a quick role play. They pretend one is the customer and one is the salesperson. Annie asks, Can I help you find something? And the coworker replies, Yes, I am looking for a blue dress. Annie practices listening and responding, Certainly. What size do you need? This mini role play takes only a few minutes, but it helps Annie practice new vocabulary and build confidence in speaking. Just before lunch, something unexpected happens. An elderly woman comes into the store looking worried and holds a small purse. Annie gently greets her, Hello, ma'am. Are you all right? The woman explains softly that she lost her favorite scarf somewhere in the mall. Annie feels compassion and says, I will help you find it. Together, they walk slowly through the racks of clothes. Annie looks carefully and spots the scarf draped over a chair near the dressing rooms. When she hands it to the woman's eyes fill with tears of relief. She thanks Annie with a warm voice. Thank you so much. Annie smiles and practices saying, You're very welcome. At noon, Annie steps outside into the mall's garden courtyard for her short lunch break. She takes out her phone and calls Tom. They catch up on the morning's events. Annie practices the phrase catch up by saying, Let's catch up again tonight. She tells Tom about helping the elderly woman find her scarf. Tom listens and says, That was very kind of you. Annie replies, Thank you. It made me happy. Before ending the call, she sends him a photo of the bright flowers in the courtyard, writing in a text, Look at these blooms. Even in a brief break, Annie finds simple ways to practice English, share her life, and stay connected with her family. At 5 o'clock in the afternoon, Annie steps out of the mall and breathes in the cool air. She drives home with a soft smile, thinking of her two children waiting for her. When she pulls into the driveway, Ethan and Lily run to the car, calling out, Mom! Annie opens the door and welcomes them with a warm hug. As they walk inside, she asks gently, How was your day? Ethan's eyes light up as he says, I did well on my spelling test today. Lily holds up a small painting of bright butterflies and says proudly, I painted this in art class. Annie listens carefully, repeating their new phrases in her mind, spelling test, and painted. Together, they move to the kitchen table for a fun vocabulary game. Annie has prepared 5 small cards. On each card, she wrote one new word from her workday: grateful, customer, gentle, lost, and welcome. Ethan picks the first card and reads the word grateful. He tries a sentence. I feel grateful for my family. Annie nods and says, That is perfect. Lily laughs and takes the next card, reading customer. She says, A customer buys clothes. Annie smiles and helps her with pronunciation. They go through all 5 cards, and each time a family member makes a sentence, they all clap. This simple game brings laughter and makes learning English feel like play. At 6:30, Annie serves dinner. The family sits together with plates of chicken, rice, and vegetables. Before they begin eating, Annie asks each person to share one highlight of their day. She models the phrase, I will share one highlight first. She says, My highlight was helping the lost scarf find its owner. Tom shares his highlight. My highlight was seeing your gratitude journal note this morning. Ethan says, My highlight was getting 5 out of 5 on my test. Lily whispers shyly, My highlight was painting butterflies. After each person finishes, Annie gives a gentle smile and says, I am proud of you. Practicing I am proud of you helps everyone feel supported and confident. When dinner ends, Annie suggests a new activity, the Family Flashcard Challenge. They cut colorful paper into small rectangles and write the 5 vocabulary words on one side and simple definitions or drawings on the other. Ethan draws a small heart next to grateful, and Lily sketches a little shopping bag by customer. After the cards are ready, they quiz each other. Annie holds up the card and asks, What does gentle mean? Ethan replies, It means kind and soft. Lily then asks Annie, "What does lost mean?" Annie answers, "It means I cannot find something." This friendly quiz helps reinforce the words and builds confidence in speaking. Later, Annie takes out her phone and opens a simple voice recorder app. She sets a personal learning goal: record a 5 sentence voice diary. Annie speaks slowly and clearly. Today's day highlights were helping the woman, playing the vocabulary game, and eating dinner together. One challenge was finding time to learn new words. I reflected on my kindness. I feel proud of our family. My goal for tomorrow is to practice 5 new English phrases. As she listens back to her own voice, Annie notices words she can improve. She feels motivated to set clear goals every evening. By 8 o'clock, it is bedtime for Ethan and Lily. Annie reads an English storybook to them. She pauses at new words and asks gently, "What happened next?" The children answer in short sentences, and Annie corrects their pronunciation with care. After the story, she tucks them in, kisses their foreheads, and whispers, "Good night." The children close their eyes with happy smiles. With the house quiet, Annie and Tom share a final cup of tea on the living room couch. They speak softly, practicing the phrase, "Today was wonderful." Tom says, "Yes, it was." Annie leans on his shoulder and replies, "I am thankful for this day." As she finishes her tea, Annie thinks, "Every day brings a new chance to learn, grow, and share kindness." She turns off the light and walks to her bedroom, feeling calm, happy, and ready for tomorrow's fresh morning awakening. Annie's story begins with a simple morning ritual. She wakes at 6 o'clock, opens her curtains to see the soft sunrise, and takes a deep, mindful breath. She writes 3 sentences in her gratitude journal, naming her husband Tom, her son Ethan, and her daughter Lily. This small act of thankfulness gives her calm strength. After brushing her teeth and washing her face, Annie stands tall in a power pose. She silently repeats, "I am strong and ready." Then she practices 5 rounds of slow breathing, clearing her mind of worry. She chooses her light blue sweater, setting a gentle goal: speak only positive words today. These steps help her start each day with clear focus and a warm heart. At 6:30, Annie prepares scrambled eggs and toast. She greets Tom with "Good morning" and practices new English phrases like, "Let's enjoy our meal together." Ethan and Lily join her, asking for pancakes. Annie teaches them, "Please be patient," and they repeat it together. During this time, she also reviews "Pack your bag" and "Drop off" as she takes the children to school. In the clothing store at the mall, Annie greets customers with, "Welcome! How can I help you?" She uses phrases such as, "Try this on" and "Let me check in the back." She invites a coworker for a quick role play to practice "Can I help you?" and "What size do you need?" This fun exercise builds her confidence. When an elderly woman loses her scarf, Annie steps in with kindness. She asks, "Can I help you find it?" and walks through the aisles until she finds the scarf. The woman thanks her, and Annie practices, "You're very welcome." This moment reminds Annie and us how small acts of care can brighten someone's day. After work, Annie returns home to hugs and stories. They play a vocabulary game with cards labeled grateful, customer, gentle, lost, and welcome. At dinner, each person shares one highlight using phrases like, I feel proud. Then they create flashcards together and quiz each other. Before bed, Annie records a 5 sentence voice diary, reflecting on her day and setting a goal for tomorrow. Annie's routine shows us that small, positive habits, gratitude, mindful breathing, clear goals, and acts of kindness can transform our days. You can apply these steps today. Start with a grateful thought. Set one simple goal. Practice kind words and help someone in need. Over time, these habits build confidence, calm, and connection. Congratulations on listening through Annie's story. You have practiced your English listening and learned new vocabulary. Now, let us test your understanding. What did Annie write in her gratitude journal each morning? A. 3 happy thoughts. B. 5 new words. Please comment your answer A or B below. If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe to our channel for more simple English stories. Your support gives us the motivation to keep creating free, high-quality content. If you can, consider donating to help cover our early stage costs and keep these lessons free for you. Thank you for learning with us.